Hi, hello, welcome in to That Sounds Gay. My name is Jer, and our gay sound today presented by Jesse is... coronavirus.
Gay cough. Gay uncomfy cough.
Is that the foil to gay cow? But it's gay cough.
Moo.
I'm sick.
I'm sick.
Boo, you whore. Why have they never done a Mean Girls thing on Drag Race?
They really haven't really tapped into that, huh?
No.
Except for Courtney Axe Mean Gays.
Oh my God. The mean gays that live in West Hollywood. The mean gays, you know you would if you could. Can I detract and say that I think Courtney should have been in the bottom that week?
Drag her.
I think Laganja was legitimately very funny. And I think it could have been Courtney and Jocelyn.
I mean, what really stood the test of time?
But hey, put your lighters up.
That should be in the public domain.
Truly.
Like, that is like really like next level goonery.
Laganja legitimately was so funny, and they were not ready for her.
If that was like poetic gooning.
Yeah. I fully believe like if Laganja was in season 9, they would have lived for that. Like, imagine her coming after Valentina after that weird like set that she did about Michelle is such a whore.
And saying like Ross Matthews is like a hamster she wants to put in her butt.
Right. Imagine. Then Laganja comes out and goes, hey, put your lighters up. That would have killed.
Yeah.
They would have absolutely eaten that up. She would have won.
Maybe she just was in the wrong era.
I truly think she was. Because, I mean, even at that time, they were harping on queens for looking, quote unquote, butch. If April Carry On was on season like 10, I think they would have lived for what April did. I think if, who else? Milk. If Milk was on like 11 or 12.
Milk.
They would have lived for Milk.
Milk.
This week, we are finishing up Drag Race Espana season 2.
We're really finishing it up.
We're finishing her off today.
I can't believe it.
I can't either, actually. Last week, we talked about the Snatch Game with the iconic RuPaul look that took up your entire screen, which was so good.
I should make it my screensaver. You should make it the cover of this podcast.
I should make it the entire
You know how
cover.
Race Chaser does a different cover every season?
Yeah.
This season is just Diamante Mary Brown in the RuPaul lockdown face kini.
I'll recreate the face kini for myself.
Oh my God.
And then do
that. Oh my God. What would it look like if you... Whoa, that sounds like body horror. If you were like on stream in like a green screen face kini.
And then it's just mouth and eyes.
Oh my God, yeah, it's just mouth and...
It would be like annoying
It's like
orange.
annoying orange. Literally.
So terrifying. Okay, but you know what I was thinking about after last week? That, not annoying orange, I should say.
I just had, sorry, for continue.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on to that thought.
I'm pinning a pin.
An annoying orange challenge, but it's like breastplates. It's like...
The eyeballs on the boobs.
Yeah, it's like
and
perky,
the mouths.
It's like perky titties, but like annoying orange.
And there's like a star
It's like
underneath.
the Saphir
like
Crystal
Michelle's.
breastplates where they like stick straight up.
The ones that are too tiny.
Yeah, but like with little like annoying orange like mouth and... Anyways, I'm sorry. That I know that the producers do listen for ideas, so don't take that one.
That one's copywritten.
Wait for next episode. We'll have better stuff next episode.
Annoying boobies, they could call it.
Not annoying boobies.
Annoying boobies.
That does sound like the caliber that the writers would come up with.
1,000%. It'd be a RDR challenge. It'd be swapped into there. I was thinking for like a RuPaul, even though I don't think Ru is very funny as a Snatch Game character.
Yeah.
Why has none of the girls that have done Ru done Shaka Khan in the middle as an answer? Or I don't see how that's any of your business.
True.
Those are two wonderful cop-out lines if you don't have an answer to reply.
I feel like it probably wouldn't work to RuPaul's face. Maybe in like Canada.
Maybe.
I kind of think it would be funny to do like RuPaul like doing a masterclass.
Oh my God.
So you're like telling like the host like, I appreciate that you're wearing a suit. Always wear a suit.
Yeah, right.
And like you like share random things, and then you're like,
Share.
you should share.
Charcuterie.
Like after the commercial break, I'll have Raven come out and show my makeup. Like, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because it's like, it's not pandering because RuPaul doesn't like it.
Right. Actively
But
hates it.
But it's also not like, oh my God, like you're so bad, but that's so good. Because it's also like not like comedy gold.
No.
But
Rue's such a hard one to pick, and Diamante was nuts for that. We also talked about the Spanish ball, Sharon's continuous rise in the competition. I publicly apologize to Estrella Extravaganza for thinking she was a flop out. I do think that her ball package was a flop.
well, yes, I don't think you're the only one.
But I did apologize. This week, we are back in the workroom in episode 7 with Come to Spain.
Come in. Come into Espana.
Do you mean cumin?
Come in.
I went back in the old country and I found the original use of the name, and it's actually, let me see if I can get this right, Johnson. Gold. God, Jocelyn was ahead of her time too. That whole cast was ahead of their time.
Yeah, they all were giving before it was norm to give.
To give that way. If the whole season 7 cast was in 6, and if the 6 cast was like 2 years later, it would have been so different. The culture would have been ready for them.
But the culture didn't deserve it.
No, they did not. This week, we are starting back in the de-dragging process where Estrella says that she looks like Sailor Moon if she was a 50-year-old alcoholic. And I wrote that down because this moment where she's pulling off all her stuff continues on for the rest of the series, where she keeps super gluing her wigs to her head.
Body mutilation.
That's the American Horror Story Espana, body mutilation.
Estrella.
Estrella Extravaganza.
I mean, literally, though, it is dark-sided, and like, what are you doing, Divalicious? Divalicious, Diva down.
Diva dishes. Diva down.
Diva dishes.
Diva dishes. Diva dishes. Diva down.
Why does that sound like a drag name? Diva dishes?
I have a friend whose name is Diva Dean.
Diva Dean. Like
Diva Dean.
No, I don't know why I was about to say that. Like Lorna Doone, but that's not like
Schmigadoon?
Schmigadoon.
And also this bitch, not my friend, Estrella, burns her pussy on a light bulb trying to wipe down the mirror. Estrella is such a fucking mess, and I am so obsessed with her.
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic. Our first mini this week, they have to get into quick drag. I hate quick drag, Jesse. I hate
quick drag, not as much as I hate baby quick drag, but I still hate it.
I hate it.
But you want to talk about chaotic?
Yes, they get into sumo fighting wrestling outfits.
Which is like, why even get in drag at all?
They didn't have
the
to.
The fact that some of them tried to get in a pretty beat and then they got in these sumo outfits.
I would specifically like to talk about Drag Sethless for just a moment.
Oh, okay.
Who in this mug is giving like 16-year-old girl, like Marsha Brady, just like broke her nose and is like red-faced from the blood and the anger of getting hit by a football, and is just crying, sobbing, but then she turned into a blueberry. What is this beat she did?
It's Marsha does, what is it, Violet Beauregard? Is that what it's giving? Marsha Beauregard?
It's totally that. It's crazy. This look is nuts.
Okay, well, I'm also obsessed with, just for the sake of like, this isn't really breaking the fourth wall, but for the RuPaul's Drag Race Wiki, including these mini challenge looks as one of the looks, as if this was a runway package. It's like the runway look, the challenge look, and then this.
As if it was a part of it.
And then them in the sumo looks. Yeah, crazy.
Can I say, I think that Venedita has never looked prettier than with this like curly updo wig. She came out in that beat, and I'm like, that is such a beautiful woman.
I know. From the neck up, it's giving. It's giving season 8 promo.
Are you ready to curl your hair?
Is this the one where Marina as a means of confusion and offense, starts twirling.
Yes.
Yes.
And they tell her to fart. And you know what? It's so funny. We've never heard a single on-camera fart from Marina.
From Marina. Yeah.
We just keep getting told about these illustrious farts that she has that's stinking up the room.
Yeah.
But she does. She twirls.
It's Schrodinger's fart. But yeah, because she's in like a duel with it's her and who's in the top 2 with her?
I feel like it wasn't Sethless.
Because I was like,
Estrella.
I was like, that's way too foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Estrella. And she just starts twirling at her menacingly. It's
like
giving,
a Pokemon.
I was about to say it's giving Super Smash Bros. When you spam the one move. So that you're like, get near me. And I'm like Pikachu down being or something. Like her just like twirling like to create confusion and like as an offensive strategy.
And it did.
It was hilarious. It was so funny to me.
Can I talk on her and say something maybe offensive? Marina, mute this part. I just know that her IBS was so happy. It was like, I'm in this big suit. I could just fart it up in here and no one would know.
Please. Okay, but then she's going to die. It's going to waft up the neck. It's going to kill her.
She unzips it and it's just this green cloud that comes floating
set
out.
Off a carbon monoxide alarm.
Exactly. Before they get into the suits, they have to like write a little bio about them, and Supreme says they've got to write it down, and this dumb bitch Estrella goes, are we supposed to write our phrase on our face or on the suit? And Supreme is just like, how are you gonna write it on your face or the suit? We have pens and paper here. And I gotta say, I love their dynamic through the rest of the season. From this point forward, it's like Estrella is always treating Supreme like she's the mom.
Yeah.
Like she is just her mother at home telling her to like clean up the dishes and stuff. Because even at the finale, she like says, fuck you, Supreme. And then Supreme's like, tell me when you get home. Call me.
So funny.
I just love them. Their dynamic is really cute to watch.
They're doing bits.
They adore. And they have to do this Dragula type wrestling challenge. It was so Dragula.
No.
Didn't they do that in season 1?
Jerichi was also giving Dragula. I'm pretty sure she had like a mullet. That at this point she had like the black like mullet almost hair.
Yeah.
But like also just her
it's very Melissa B. Fierce.
No, not Melissa B. Fierce, please.
Am I wrong?
My litter, bitch. My litter.
And Marina, nope, not Marina. Estrella wins the mini challenge. And I feel like the thing that I've been responding really well to with Estrella, she acts like she's on the mic all the time. Like in the workroom, in the beginning, at the end, she's always just talking.
Yeah.
As if she's like speaking to a bar. Like give this girly a mic.
Yes.
At any given time and she's ready to just talk.
And it's yes-anding in the way of like constant entertainment.
Yeah.
Of like, even if you don't know what's happening, like it's on in just like a fun way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you probably relate as a streamer, like even if you don't fully know what's happening, you're on and you're gonna like make light of it and be fun with it and like keep it rolling.
Right.
And so like she's always, I feel like, because Bob is always a yes-ander, but like she has so much more energy. She's like giddy with it.
Yeah.
But in that same sense of like someone who just is very funny, like she's always gonna like keep an eye out for like, how can I make someone laugh right now?
Yeah.
And I love it as someone who's always looking to laugh.
Me as well. That's actually such a good comparison because she's a lot like Bob, where Bob was just talking all the time in the workroom.
But like just throwing shit out to make people laugh and like, oh, let me say this. This will probably be funny.
Trying to entertain, not being too much of like a facade or anything. Oh, we're knocking
Diva down
over today. Diva down. Our maxi is to star in ads, convincing drag queens all around the world to come and visit Spain for their destination. Could you imagine if that what it was? Come
to make ads convincing people all around the world to come
and visit Spain. That would have been their approach.
That's very Alexis would be
Exactly.
to come.
To come. That's what I would have done. I would have been like, all right, everyone, get ready to come. And also visit Espana.
It's so funny. We're approaching Australia too soon as well, aren't
We are very close, yeah.
We see this challenge repeated in Australia too.
Interesting.
Executed differently. It's a green screen challenge.
I hate green screens.
And oh boy, is it a green screen challenge.
I believe that.
Anaconda is like, oh, this is a green screen challenge? Okay, green screen, let's go.
I think you've told me about a little bit about this.
This is actually one of my favorite episodes of the whole season. It brings about my favorite Spanky Jackson quote. But anyways.
Yeah, I think we've got All-Star 7. I think we've got France, then Down Under, then Philippines. Those are our next 4.
Well, I'm here for it and I hold space for it. I think this challenge can be really fun and funny because it's basically like, it's not a product challenge, but it sort of is because it's like
branding.
You're selling something, but you can funnel yourself through it so fiercely.
I live for these types of things. And I didn't hate the execution. I mean, the little cardboard walls that they gave them weren't my favorite thing in the world, but I also didn't hate
It was
them.
it was giving literal presentation.
Yeah.
It was giving like you were going to get a grade for it.
Yeah. Estrella gets to choose the teams, and she picks Sharon because she does not want to be in the bottom again. I personally have zero problem with this. And they kind of make a little storyline out of this. Like, she keeps working with her. Should she diversify? And I'm like, nobody ever complained about Shay and Sasha working together all the time.
I know. But also, didn't she only work with her in the musical?
They did the musical and the tomato and onion.
Oh.
With the not omelet tortilla.
But also like Lemon and Priyanka.
Right.
Like sometimes if there's a duo, can I say? These bitches are mad they're not working with Sharon.
That's exactly what it is. They want to work with Sharon. They see.
And also like it is like, yeah, the two funniest bitches in the room. Because if it was a challenge that was funny, my first pick would probably be Sharon just because I know that she's a balance of funny but also balance, like staple, like anchor.
And professional.
But then my second choice would probably be Estrella because she's just flat out funny.
Right.
Like, I love Venedita, I love Jarigi, but they wouldn't be my first picks for a challenge like this.
Not for
those
this.
two are my picks for a challenge like this. So I feel like I was just mad that they're working together.
Totally.
Because they're like, I would like to work with one of them, and they're working together.
Exactly. So we have no chance of winning this one. Let's see. She also pairs up Jarigi and Venedita, and I'm kind of glad that she didn't put Jarigi with Marina just to be like mean or something. I think it shows a lot about her character. Yeah. And then she puts Marina and Sethless together. And...
Cover your nose, Jarigi.
Because you're with Marina. Yeah. Please.
Well, and also Jarigi and Venedita is low-key the cuntiest duo.
Yeah.
I immediately was filled with dread and anxiety when they were paired together.
Yeah.
But I was excited.
I was very scared. I loved this challenge. Estrella was talking about big Spanish dicks. Venedita was making the pit crew fucking missionary position.
I love how so much of them were like, come to Espana. Sex.
Exactly.
Sex, dicks, hot men, penetration.
Right? The little gay slut inside of me was like, oh, I want to go to Spain.
Oh, I feel like they also were getting to the witching hour of the competition where these women are getting feral.
Totally.
The pit crew are a prop.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yes, we can use the pit crew.
I mean, I could imagine when you're under high amounts of stress, you're not getting a lot of sleep. And there's probably the horny divas in the room that are passing porn through the doors and making you watch it at 2 a.m. And then you have to get up 4 hours later to keep recording. That you're probably like feeling all kinds of ways.
But,
you know,
it's so true. But I will also say, I mean, we have it pretty good in California because, you know, when I was in Seattle, when I go other places, I can tell how dry it is elsewhere.
Right.
But, girl, if I was in Spain,
I know.
I get why they're leading with the men.
Honestly, me too. That one big fuzzy dude with the chest tattoo, the big cross on his chest.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's like, it's no joke. Like, they're right. The men are everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of get them leading with it because I'm like, yeah, I'm jealous of the men y'all have over there. I would go over there for the men.
Can I show you one of the dudes that was just in the most recent episode of Drag Race? He was a dancer. He made my heart stop. His name is Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Sebastian, and he was so
Oh
sexy.
my god.
And the whole time I was watching him, and I'm like, oh, I would pop my tuck.
Well, I love those mustache men. My favorite before that was the bald mustache man, the really buff one that they've been having for the musicals. I love him.
Yeah.
So yeah, their dancers recently have been crazy.
They've been so good. Venedita dyes her beard blonde for this challenge, and I was so nervous. I'm like, oh, she's going home.
It looks so weird.
It does, doesn't it? It worked well with the challenge, but it was very
I commend
strange.
it, but it's like she to me is always a dark beauty.
I agree.
And that just suits her.
So we get something really interesting. We have a tribute runway to Raffaella Cara, who we just saw in Drag Race Italia. And I texted you about this. I was like, what is it about the toxic positivity about this diva that makes the girls flip their shit?
They put on that blonde wig.
That little mushroom cap blonde wig, and they lose their
Because
minds.
it's so funny because it seems like she's the most like good vibes, fun time lady.
Yeah.
It's
Unproblematic.
It's like Night of 1,000 Carol. I obviously don't know her, but it's like if in my mind it's like if it was Night of 1,000 Carol Channings, everyone's dressed up as Carol Channing,
right?
And arguing like
Fighting,
going crazy because they're all in like disco, like waist down ABBA or neck down ABBA, neck up Trixie bowl cut wig.
Yeah,
obviously not knowing this icon and this diva and what the point of reference actually is. It is just so hilarious. Like they all look so silly in these costumes and they're like
fighting,
getting so pressed.
And they did this in Italia too. This rusical for Raffaella was the one that made who is it, Ava and Norma flip their lids.
Yeah.
But I did think it was fun to have this diva show up in two different regions.
And I didn't even think about that when we were in Italia.
Really?
I've totally forgot that it was the same diva.
Yeah.
So when you brought it up, I was like, oh my God, that's true. But it's so funny. Like, I wish we had a US equivalent.
I know, right?
Like the curse of like Paula Abdul Knight or something, where it's like anytime we dress up as this diva, like the girls are gonna fight.
Right.
It's just so funny to me.
I mean, I guess it's like the Madonna effect almost, where if they do a Madonna night, people do the same thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
Absolutely.
Did you have any standouts in... Let's talk about the runway first, and then we can talk about the ads. First off, I gotta say, Venedita was super cute.
Yes.
And Chirigi's pussy phone.
Oh. Pussy phone.
I spit took.
Persephone pussy phone.
Pussy phone.
That's a drag name.
It is.
Okay, so... Okay, before I guess I should lead with this. Something I struggle with is, again, I don't know the diva.
Sure.
So I don't know exactly how on the nail these girlies are. So then I'm judging more superficially on like, oh, I like that blonde wig more than that blonde wig. Because then there's like the hierarchy of like, some of these blonde wigs look a little more plastic. Some of these are a little more like piss blonde. Some of these are a little more like gorgeous golden for them.
Right.
Some of them are like a mushroom. Some of them are like Farrah Fawcett hair. So I think that was part of it is like, I don't know, like, cause some of the ones that maybe for me weren't I wasn't like, oh my God, I love this.
Yeah.
The judges had a really positive reception too, probably because it was emulating her so like fiercely. But because I don't know who's being emulated, I'm just going off of like what I like.
Right.
And what I like is Venedita's. Seeing her in the confessionals and out of drag in the blonde beard makes me feel so uncomfy and I hate it. But
the commitment.
And honestly, in the wide shots, it almost doesn't even look like she has facial hair. It's really impressive. And with how like lifted and excited she is, like she really sold it in the presentation, but also like of the bodysuits, I think she has the best bodysuit.
Hers looks draggy.
But my second favorite, I do kind of love Sethless's.
The hair is a little maybe too big.
The hair's a little like Kim Gosselin. It's like Kim Gosselin like trying to do a cunty like Kim Gosselin meets like Edna Mode.
It's so Edna Mode.
Blonde Edna
And
Mode.
she specifically said that she was trying to do her through the look. And I'm like, that's not really how you do the character. Can I don't mean to be hateful here, but I'm going to be. Marina looks like a Norma. Like, all I see when I look at this is a Norma Jean. And then if I look at Sharon, she looks like Lariche.
No.
And whatever they did to their faces to try and do this makeup, they just ended up looking
honestly,
like them.
Marina is giving me the baby of a Norma and Ava.
It's totally
it's
that.
also giving me avant-garde.
I'm just glad that no one.
Twinkie avant-garde.
Yes, I'm just glad that no one was told they look like a truck driver.
Oh,
you know,
woof. It's interesting because some of them try to like adapt their mug a little bit more, whereas like Jiriji like doing like her lashes just with like the blonde wig.
Yeah,
Jiriji basically just giving me like blonde Jiriji was hilarious because she looks like this like windswept like femme fatale like just in a blonde wig.
Totally.
I could see her in this same outfit and black hair singing opera.
And I would live. She's everything to me.
I'd live.
Do we want to talk about the ads at all?
I mean, were the men the best part?
Yes. I will say the glory holes. That was what Club 96 was trying to be. And this was a successful version of that. And I loved how they were like sort of breaking the fourth wall. By the time it got to the fifth or sixth, and the glory holes, they're like, wait, what? There's glory.
Yeah.
What? Who's saying that?
Well, and also I do love that theirs was very like to the gay audience, which made sense because obviously that's who's watching. But it's like, hey, are you a fag who wants to come to Spain?
Yeah.
Here's what's in it for you.
I will say about Selfless and Marina, just as a general thing, I never understand the perspective of starting out bitchy. Like, remember when I think it was Pepper and Trinity tried to do that in the QNN thing, where it's like, oh girl, well, I caught your husband last night with me, and your husband likes me better than you. I think that sets up the energy to be kind of weird. Like, shade is fine every now and again in a skit like this, but when you just start out bitchy,
when you're like a little catty with each other,
it sets the energy for a weird bar. And then Venedita and Jiriji just being these two dumb sluts at the beach.
I love that Venedita matched Jiriji's freak.
Yes, I love her.
Like, I just feel like they both were just so like perfectly in sync because it was like they kind of are like two sides of the same coin in a weird way. Like Venedita is definitely a lot more clean and like streamlined, and Drigi's a lot more like free and like fun.
Nips out.
Yeah, but they had their sexy girl, slutty girl summer like shared like brain cell, but I feel like Jiriji was like hot slut and Venedita was like yeah totally.
Have you seen a Scary Movie?
I mean, bits and pieces.
At the very beginning, I think of the very first or the second. It's probably the first one. I think it's Carmen Electra, and I don't remember who her co-host is, co-star is. But like they're doing a scene where they're like making popcorn, and like walking around their house all sexy and stuff. It was very that. It was like Carmen Electra just being silly, slutty somewhere, being dumb,
being hot.
Yeah,
hot
and I live.
Dumb.
Supreme asks the question, and you warned me about this. For our listeners, just as a refresher, Sharon says Marina because her personality isn't showing as much as the others. And I kind of agree.
Yeah.
She's so reserved right now. Estrella says Sethless because of the ad. And I thought that was valid. Yeah. Marina says Jiriji for no reason. Just says, I don't have a reason for it. Just send her home. And I'm like, oh.
Because this bitch let you have it.
This bitch told you were gassy.
This bitch told Espana that you're a gassy bitch. Yeah.
Sethless says Jiriji because she's not bringing versatility. I didn't understand that critique, but maybe they're seeing something different than what we saw. Venedita says Marina because of the ad. And then Jiriji says Marina because the ads and also not being a wow. And I'm like, you
Not
better
being
have a good reason.
wow.
And not wowing. I'm like, you better read this girl. You better do the thing. She wasn't.
So what confuses me is,
Mhm.
in the US, most of the time it's like, we all had to say someone, but no hard feelings. It was like, I kind of agree that them saying Jarigi felt surprising.
Mhm.
And then we get backstage and they're like, by the way, fuck you.
Right.
I hate you, Jarigi.
You're the worst and you're so annoying and immature. And also, maybe I fart, but you're stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very playground.
It was
Maybe
so
I
crazy.
fart, but you're stupid.
That's kind of what the whole vibe was. Because even Estrella flips and she's just like, yeah, you just give the same thing too much. And Jarigi just like so up close beauty, like I talked about last week. She like pulls out her little pussy phone and is like, hello, it's me, the least versatile in the group. Oh, hello. You're always funny all the time. Oh, hee hee. Goodbye. I thought it was so fabulous. I probably would have been cackling in the room or like super inappropriately smiling. Really,
didn't Sharon laugh?
she like wanted
I feel like
to.
Sharon and Venedita were kind of here for it.
Vene was so
well because
here
Sharon
for it.
and Vene weren't in it.
No,
It was the younger kids
It was.
going at it, and Sharon and Venedita were not in it. Venedita was already on Jariji's team, so she was fully Team Jarigi
Totally.
in this moment. But I feel like Sharon also had nothing to do with it and was just watching them fight.
well, and they also walked in, and Sharon's first comment was, "Let's try not to let this break us as a group." And Marina's like, "Now hold on, that's not going to happen."
And then she started spinning.
Confusing everyone. Putting a little pin in this. I was rewatching the I Was Ready to Do So clip the other day, and it flashes to all the girls like just being so confused, but then it flashes to America D's and she's smiling. And just like she wanted to laugh so hard, but everybody in the room was upset, so she just didn't. So she's just standing there like just mugging. And I really
love
felt like
it.
that was Venedita here. Like everyone's yelling and she does that pussy phone thing, and Venice just like, I want to laugh so hard, but I'm not going to.
It cuts the moment so fiercely and so hilariously. They also edit it so weirdly, but
They want us to think she's super immature for doing that.
yeah, and she's so like shady and like a bitch like for doing it, but it's so funny.
I kind of understand her doing it though, because she doesn't like tension. So she was trying to do a bit to bring a little bit of heat off of her. And I understand how that could come off frivolous. But if I was not involved in that fight, I would be cackling.
And I also am like, maybe this is not like the most emotionally like mature way to handle things, but I feel like if you're coming at me, you're talking about me, you're making the topic me.
Are you talking about me?
Are you talking about me like me? I feel like at that point, when I am the topic of discussion, this has become an open forum about me. I have the power to respond and handle it in any way I want to.
I agree.
So if she wants to answer her pussy phone and make a joke about it, like y'all are talking about her, she can handle it however she wants to.
Yeah.
Is how I feel about it. So I don't feel like she was whack for responding in that way or anything like the edit tried to make me feel. But I thought it was hilarious. And I'm like,
Yeah.
like you said, like they're talking about her, like I would feel very uncomfortable, but she's trying to diffuse it also. Like she could be a lot cuntier about it, but.
And this is now the second time because a couple weeks ago, Marina specifically was coming at her. And so she snapped and she said her thing and then stopped. And this time it was like she wasn't going to try and be the bigger person and just end it. She was like, well, then I'm going to be fierce.
Yeah.
Try
well,
that
I think
out.
she also probably, I mean, I don't want to speak for her, but I would have felt confidently buoyed by the fact of I didn't do the worst.
Right.
She's arguing with the person that did the worst.
Yeah.
So she has a bit of power in saying like, I might not have won, but I'm doing better than you.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
I may not have won, but I'm not going home tonight.
like you think I should go home because you think I'm not giving. I think you should go home because you did the worst tonight.
Exactly. And you actively did bad. And
Yeah.
you smell.
And
You
yeah,
farty
you're gassy
bitch.
and I have to look pretty while you stink up the room.
Sharon and... Or, no. Yes, Sharon and Estrella are the
Yes.
winners. I was reading the second half of my notes. And I wrote down with Sharon, she is the winner. Like I didn't know at this point in my notes, but Sharon never
You
did
already
bad
knew.
ever.
You already knew chicken was for dinner.
Yes, exactly. Winner, chicken dinner. I feel like because Sharon can speak English, if she came back for an all winners, there's no way she would not be top 2.
All winners internacional.
Envy, Sharon.
Envy, Sharon, top 2.
Oh,
right
easy.
there. But like definitely some of our France girlies, like Paloma would be dope.
Everyone's
what's
into
the Kiyomi? Is that
yeah,
her
yeah,
name?
Kiona.
Kiona.
She was the one that just won, right?
I need to watch that season so bad. I need to get into France.
I need to as well. Well, we're about to in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I tried watching season 1, so this will be fun because I made it about halfway through.
Okay.
And then I made it. Well, I don't want to say who.
Okay.
Went home, but
someone went home and you said I can't do it.
It wasn't even that, but it was like I could like very much feel what the temperature of the season was. Like okay, like okay,
sure. They're supposed to get their all stars soon.
Yeah, which I mean, that's slay because Espana had their own all stars, and I thought that was very cunty because it speaks to the caliber
is
of
Canada
for real. Because at this point, I would love a 12-girl cast with 3 from each season. Are we at Canada 5?
We just did Canada 5.
That's crazy. So we could do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2 from
2, 4, 6, 12. Top 3.
2 for top 8.
Bobo would probably be at the top with, if she was there, with maybe, I'm going to say Ermagerd, because I just feel like Irma would come back and they'd be like, we sang home we shouldn't have. Even, there's a lot of girls that I would love to be there, but I just feel like they would feel Irma no. I don't know why. It's psychic feeling. But Bobo would be there. I definitely
think it's Bobo. And oh, gosh, there's so many choices. There's so many good people.
Right? Ooh, if they could get Perla to come back.
Perla.
I love me some Perla.
Bitch, I love Perla so much.
Me too.
Perla, I hope you're having a good day.
I love you, Perla.
It's like, you remember that episode of where Trixie described something like, it felt like when you have an itch in your ear and you scratch it with the end of a bobby pin.
Yeah.
It's like the scalp massager.
Yeah.
Perla is like a scalp massager for my soul. Like where it's just like the scratch up and down tingly.
Yeah. Perla does it for me. She's so good.
Yeah.
Our bottom 2 for this episode is Sethless and Marina to Que Dolor by Rafaela Cara. And Marina worked me all the way out. I watched that lip sync twice.
Well, okay. And the thing is, everyone thought that Sethless, because we saw her talent show, and obviously Sethless is a bit more of an alpha in terms of performing. I think everyone thought that she was going to have Marina for lunch.
I thought so too. I thought Marina was cooked and served.
And then Marina
is bucking and twirling and doing those 70s moves, and her hair's flipping everywhere.
What's so fun is like, I love it because it's like, it's not a fierce song.
No.
It's very Shrimala pooching her way to victory.
Bitch, yes.
Where she just like cuntily just like is like do 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 do. Like it's such like a happy-go-lucky, like fun, like upbeat song.
Yeah.
And she's just like embodying that like super like upbeat fast energy. She's so theatrical about it. It's so fierce. I love it.
I was extremely confused why Sethless decided to go in the route of like Gaga and Madonna. I'm like, that's not the diva.
She was giving cunty.
Yeah.
She's trying to give cunty.
She specifically said that she draws inspiration from other divas, and that's what she was doing in her lip sync.
Wrong divas.
If you are doing Mariah, you don't channel Gaga.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Marina gives me like, you know how they say Rose and Denali weaponize their BFA? She's definitely like weaponized theater kid.
Totally.
Like they say, like a theater kid either becomes like a stoner or like
Mm,
XYZ. She's definitely just like weaponized theater kid.
yeah.
Like she's taking all of her theaterness and becoming like an absolute like
Villain. Villain of theater.
a
A theatrical
villain of
villain.
theater. She's the Phantom of the Opera.
That's a Drag Race trope. Phantom of the Opera. I really wish that you had watched the most recent episode of 17 because I want to talk to you about that lip sync so bad. They did a
Really?
Diana Ross song,
Oh,
which is great, but I feel like it's such a problem when you're doing that in front of Rue because you
yikes.
cannot be your character. You
Yeah.
have to just be straightforward Diana Ross, you know, even though
Yeah.
you don't look like her. Like you have to do that because
Yeah.
otherwise Rue's gonna send you
Even though
packing.
this bitch doesn't look like Diana Ross.
Right. Because, like, you could do, like, the best performance, but because Rue admires her so much, if
Yeah.
it's not what she would do, Rue's going to send you packing. And
Mm.
I want to talk to you about it. And I want to know your opinions soon. We have Sethless getting eliminated, which was
A
not on my
gag.
bingo card.
Yeah.
You asked me last week who I thought was going to go next, and I thought it was going to be Marina.
And it's so funny because it's crazy you say that, and then like that's probably how a lot of people feel.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, Marina's kind of petering out, and then this happens, and you're like, okay, well, Sethless is gonna let her have it.
Yeah,
Sethless, obviously, because a lot of people at this point pegged her top four.
totally. I did.
I think at this point, like you kind of were seeing like Sharon, Venedita, Sethless, and
Mm-hmm.
then maybe like
Maybe Estrella, maybe
Jirigi.
Jirigi. Yeah.
Exactly. But like Sethless was not
Not on my radar to go home next.
no.
Not even
at
a
all.
little bit.
And like if she did, it would have been like top 5.
Totally. The shock out.
Yeah, so this was definitely a big gag. And Marina, who was like exactly the girl you pegged to go home next,
Mhm.
being the girl to take her out, is like such a gag.
It's such a gag.
But it's also not riggery either.
No,
That's
it
what's
was so
even gaggier
deserved.
about it because she let her have it.
Yeah. And that I mentioned last week that I forget that this is a TV show sometimes. This
Yeah.
was one of those just great competitive moments where I thought, is this TV? This is not TV. She ate her up.
Well, no, and that's the thing about Espana is like it's so good that it doesn't even feel like it needs to have a hand in like the production of it
Mhm.
or anything, because it feels like no, this shit's just playing out as God intended.
Yeah. I find myself looking at Espana not through my normal lens of what character tropes are they trying to get? Who's the front runner? Who's the villain? Who's the quirky girl? Who's the theater kid? Who are they trying to whittle off so that they can just get their one trope at the end
Yeah.
of each kind? And I find myself looking at them and being like, that's not what's happening here at all. Not even a little bit. It's so cool. We moved to episode 8, which is a comedy roast club. And I feel like with Sethless gone, I feel like Venedita then has a better chance of standing out because Venedita's problem all season is that she is not strong enough on the runway in comparison to Sethless. Sethless is always better. When it comes to
yeah.
comedy, Sharon's always better.
Yeah.
Venedita's really good at what she does, but she just has one barrier in the way, and that's just one person doing a 0.01 percentile better than her.
Yeah.
So with Sethless gone, it's like, oh, she's got even more chance to stand out.
Wow, we get a girly. Not next is it next season? There's a girly, yeah, next season who actually reminds me a lot of her. That's
Really?
so funny. Just of that, always the bridesmaids feel of
Mm.
also like she always does great, but someone always does better.
Yeah. And it's hard when there's someone that's like that in the room where it's
Yeah.
like, I want to root for you and I want you to win, but you're just like a small millimeter percentile stronger than somebody else, you know, or
Very that.
weaker. Jirigi and Marina are continuing to have tension. And we get the puppet challenge.
Yeah.
I love that Espana keeps the puppets because this is gone in the States now. As of where we
Crazy.
just did 14, puppets are gone. They're dead. She's dead. Venedita gets Marina. And I thought the comments about the farting, again, is so weird because we've never seen an on-camera toot. And I've been waiting for an on-camera
And
toot.
on camera Susie too.
That's my new drag name, on-camera toot. Sharon gets Estrella. And is there literally anything that Sharon cannot do?
Bad.
Yeah, she's allergic to being bad. She says a joke to her puppet where she says, I don't like making fun of people with low mobility or who are pregnant. And Estrella, you're both. And I'm like, that's how you do a big joke. So many girls just do these inappropriate, rude weight jokes like what they did in 17 during the roast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's how you deliver a
About eating.
smart, funny size joke.
Yeah. No, good shit.
Like that, it was so tasteful in its own roasty way. I thought it was funny. Drace got Benedita, the masculine voice. So she was like talking like her Snatch Game character. I died. It was very funny. Marina got Jurigi. And I feel like production had to have been like, oh boy, it's happening. She did the pussy phone. And then she just like didn't do anything at all. It was so cringy.
Yeah, I kind of petered out into nothingness.
I was like, oh, this girl's cooked. She's out next. Jokes. Estrella got Sharon. And I just gotta ask, like, Estrella's the funny girl. Why was she not funny in the Snatch Game or in this? It's just like not in the cards for her at all to be funny in these types of challenges, unfortunately.
God.
Sharon wins the mini, and it's announced that we get a roast challenge. And the guests of honor are the season 1 cast from the roast.
Second time showing up.
I love how much they celebrate the alum.
They just do a good job of doing that throughout the season, throughout this show. Like they are very reverent to they respect their elders.
I love that so much because regular Drag Race doesn't, other than Lil Pound Cake and Ornacia. And I'm like, that's not alum. Yeah. Can I say, I feel like the pairings that happen naturally in the workroom, everyone dividing off to get their inspiration, was such an interesting reflection of the actual competition. So we have Carmen and Sharon, who are the obvious front runners of both of their seasons.
Yeah.
Objectively dominating the competition. Marina and Dovima, who are those like fashion girls who are a little bit misunderstood in the workroom. Poopy and Estrella, who are both very funny naturally, but when they're told, be funny, they can't do it. They're allergic to doing so. Sahi and Benedita, who are really funny and smart, but present more fashionable.
Yeah.
And then Killer and Jurigi, who both keep to themselves kind of all the time and are so confident that they're almost taken as like being cocky.
Yeah.
In their own way. And I'm like, these pairings were so interesting that these girls ended up with each other because their stories are similar.
It was interesting. I'm like, I do wonder if that was producer pair-offs or like maybe just based on who they thought would have sparks or who kind of organically settled with each other. But no, the pairings were very interesting. I also just love shit like that where it's like a current season girl paired off with an old season girl and stuff like that. Like, I just love that kind of mix.
Yeah, me too. It was fun. We move on to the runway where I do want to say that I think Supreme has looked the prettiest that she has ever looked. That like graphic club flyer dress and that silver gray hair.
Yeah.
She looked really good this week. And Anna has these condom earrings that I need in my life. Coming out in condom earrings.
Anna is the fashion icon.
Yes.
She just gets more and more crazy with her looks as seasons come too. Like, she just gets more and more draggy with her looks.
I cannot wait for season 4 when they do the runway for her.
She's such a hoot. I love it.
Do you want to chat about these really quick, or I can just do like little refreshers of what happened?
The runway or the roast?
The roast.
Can I just say? I'll just say my one thought.
Yeah.
I thought Jurigi was fucking funny.
I did as well.
I thought she did good.
Yeah.
Especially with, I was bracing myself for her to do bad. Because I was like, I'm a Jurigi stan, but I know where her weaknesses lie. And I was like, I know she's not really going to give it.
Yeah.
I was like ready for Estrella and Sharon to dog walk this week and everyone else to fight for themselves. But I really thought it went them two.
Yeah.
And then her.
Yeah. I wrote down a couple of her jokes because they were so funny, and I even told Jake because they were hilarious. When she said to Poopy, when you were little, rainbows were black and white. Your communion was canceled because of, what was it called again? Oh, yeah, the Spanish Inquisition. I'm like, bitch, it's so
Crazy.
funny.
Also, in this outfit, this like weird like clown gnome, green clown gnome, Christmas.
tree.
It was elf.
It's
Yeah,
Christmas.
it was so silly, and like she was very silly and like down a clown.
Yeah.
But it was also very just like her and like hee hee hee. I loved it.
I thought she was really funny.
I actually thought she did great.
Yeah.
But also just seeing Sharon sitting there, I'm like, it's like mothers just watching the children.
No.
And she's like, so anyways.
I'm going to slay now.
Yeah.
I love how Sharon was worried. And she was like, I don't think I'm going to be very funny. And then she knocked it out of the park.
So
Again.
It's like, I'm not worried for you and I'm the audience. Like,
yeah. The runway is Spanish heroines.
Heroin.
Really quick, just to recap so that we're on the same knowledge base. Chirichis is a tribute to women who lost their lives during the Franco regime, which she talked about earlier in her story that her grandparents fled during that time. Marina's is a fight of trans rights. Estrella is doing a press look to talk about the journalists who had to fight in battle to share the truth. Sharon is doing a housewife look to celebrate the women of Espana who are the real heroines behind everything. And Benedita is these female artists who were never given their flowers. Those are the stories that they were doing behind them. And I gotta say, I absolutely loved Benedita's. It was so good.
Thank you. Benedita's is
so
my
good.
favorite. I love Benedita so much. And I was so sad that she had to lip sync in this look.
It's so
because
good.
I love this look. I love how she performed it. It was just so fun. And this is, to me, this is like peak Benedita.
Her aesthetic
like,
is starting to make sense to me.
Yes.
It took all of this time. It took Sethless going home for me to understand her point of view. And she's this like burlesque French artist.
It is very burlesque, stagey, but like it's a little arty. It's a little like stagey.
It's very international art too.
This is definitely like when I think of Benedita, this is one of the first looks I think of. I usually think of this and that green look that she sews a couple episodes prior. But this is for me peak Benedita and usually the look I think of when I think of her. I love this look.
Yeah.
And I love her.
What did you think about Marina getting her win? Did you think it was maybe not?
No, I'm happy for her.
Uh-huh.
I think it's just it's one of those things where I was so like, wow, I can't believe she's still here. Okay, well, this week she's definitely going to go home then. And then I'm like waiting for her to bomb and she doesn't. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because I know I said it earlier. I said that the girlies Sharon and Estrella were the funniest, but actually I guess I should edit that. I should swap Estrella and Marina. Because Marina was funnier than her, I would say.
She was.
She definitely was. I'm just so used to Sharon and Estrella being the funniest. I feel like I'm probably habitually said that, but
and also her wanting to go first and setting the bar at a good.
She was bold. Also, loved her look. Loved her look, and I think also what I will say I appreciate about this for her is this felt the most like stepping out of Marina that she did all season. Between like even the look felt like it was like this was like a Marina's like auntie.
Totally.
Like it was such like a weird like slight departure for her where like there's always going to be that part of her that's very like cerebral and like kind of serious. But like she definitely like when I said she's a weaponized theater kid, like she definitely played into like the kooky character part of her a little bit. But like I feel like this was the most like stepping outside of the like kind of taking herself a little bit more seriously Marina that can get a little more like dull in the season. Like this was the most like fun, just like I'm gonna make you laugh and like I can laugh with y'all. Like it also felt the least like take herself seriously all season, but No, I actually forgot. This was like very much a breath of fresh air for her.
Yeah,
Which is so funny to come so late as well.
right. And that wasn't even a plot point. Normally it is. It's
No.
like, well, you haven't won anything, so why are you still here? She never
No.
got that story.
But like cuz when I was saying like cuz I was kind of feeling like this was her episode,
Mm,
it's kind of coming at the fatigue point of
mm-hmm.
her run
Totally.
where most viewers are probably like done with her, like I don't want
Yeah.
to play with you anymore. So for her to kind of try and pivot
Mm.
is very powerful at
It
this point in
shows
the
the power.
competition.
She's got the power.
I
I
got the
gotta say,
power.
I was gagged at Estrella being safe. I think she was gagged. I was sure it was going to be Venedita and Estrella. I'm like, what? Now, how did Yurichi get down there? Because Anna was crying at her runway
Well,
look.
and I think that Estrella should be judged harsher because she is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said earlier, she's a natural MC. I think I kind of even wrote off how she kind of undersold this episode
Mm-hmm.
because in my brain I'm like, oh yeah, this episode, like she's funny, she does great. But it's like no, it's that thing, you know that
You know
thing.
that thing.
But that happens so much where like the really funny like. And it's not even like, oh, you're funny. Like, how can you not be good at stand up? Like, the bitch you think would be good at stand up because they're doing a type 5 at all times.
Dela.
Yeah. Like, those queens that are basically doing stand up to you
Yeah.
while they're not on a mic, not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly was like, okay, do stand up. They like
They
kind
can't.
of clam up.
The
Because the thing
poopy.
with her, at least for me, what I felt is like, she lost like her flow
Mm-hmm.
and like her like comedic timing and like her delivery and everything, like
Yeah.
everything that she has so naturally and charismatically and like comes so easily to her when she's just like, yeah, like shooting the shit with Supreme
Mm-hmm.
of all people,
Right.
or just like in the workroom and stuff. When she's on a stage, she suddenly like loses like what comes so naturally to her.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and her pacing was really weird in the challenge too because she was talking to Mile Limited, she was telling a lot of jokes, she was trying to get everybody in the.
Nervous energy.
I was freaking out. You know, like when your like body tenses and your butt like tenses a little bit, and you start like moving up your chair. It's like I don't like this. Chrissy, wake up!
No, it's giving.
That's how I
like,
felt.
It was giving like someone who does this all the time, but you'd never know that.
Exactly.
It was giving like she was like not I mean maybe nervous, but like it was giving like she was green. But it's like you've been funny all season. You've been the stand-up girly all season. You've been hosting, emceeing us through season 2, and now you get on the mic, and what's happening?
It is very much reminding me of. Do you remember when you said Lucretia Lubamba was a woman who does street, who's never left her house?
Oh
It a woman
I
doing hip
forgot
hop
I
but
said
without
that.
rhythm.
I forgot I said that. I definitely had something out for Lakeisha
You
Labamba
did.
that night.
It's someone who's an MC who's never touched a mic.
Oof.
That was what her whole
wow.
set was.
But it definitely also does show the divide between like someone like Sharon
Mhm.
versus someone like her, I guess. Where
Yeah.
it's like they can both be funny and they can both give, but someone like Sharon, like she'll settle into the professionalism. Like
Right.
she's gonna give you that solid, like bulletproof number that you could expect from her. Where it's like
Mhm.
maybe she's not like the single most like absolutely hilarious thing you've ever seen. Like that was a solid, good number.
Yeah.
But like with her, it's like, oh,
Right.
I thought you were gonna slay this.
Me
But,
too.
like, maybe it is a little bit of like green, a little bit of like youth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like actually forgot that. I was like, oh yeah, she did great this episode.
I didn't enjoy really much of anything.
No, that's
Her look was
tea.
nice.
But it's also again, it's that thing of like you're waiting for her to slay,
Mhm.
and then you're watching, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, why didn't you?
Wait, what the fuck? Nervous laugh.
Our lip sync is for Drigi and Venedita, and they have to lip sync to a song
Cries.
called Fuego.
No, I'd like to pretend this didn't happen.
An English song, though. I do want to say that. That was not on my bingo card.
That also, like, I've enjoyed the lack of, like, as opposed to Italia.
Mm-hmm.
And also just for that point, like, a lot of international seasons, I think nowadays they're getting worse too. Like Germany, ooh,
Bad set list.
Germany is awful. It's like, well, in like Holland,
We had one Dutch song among 2 seasons.
it was either like a RuPaul song or a previous English Drag Race song, like
They already bought the
Stronger by
rights
Kelly
to.
Clarkson, yeah, or Knock on Wood or something stupid, like exactly,
Physical.
yeah. Which even that was a little bit more of a slay, but like
Yeah.
something like so random. But Germany is also not that great to that same problem, if I remember correctly.
Thailand 3 was okay.
That's good, but like I hate when they are not leaning into like, because as a non, like, I don't know these songs, but I want to hear what is the
What's the Spanish tea?
what is the I Will Survive?
Totally. What is the iconic?
If there's one lip sync song to do, it's
It's
this
this one. It's that one a couple weeks ago that when they announced it, Big Javi went, "Oh wow."
No, because
It's
for
that.
real, because it's like I want to know what that scene's like, oh my god, songs are, you know?
Do you know what I still listen to almost every day? Cuando tú vas, yo vengo de aquí, yo no voy.
Okay, no.
I listen to Cuando tú vas
Literally,
all the time.
That's a bop, pussy.
Oh, Pussy is so good.
Pussy.
Yeah.
I love that. I love Haute Couture by Rosalia.
Oh yeah.
The Cat in the Rain. The
Oh yeah, that one's
finale
good.
song, which like I don't listen to, but like that's just like a beautiful
It's a good
song.
song.
And I love like, and that's the thing too, is like it's just cool to like be introduced to like little like pockets of culture and like storytelling that's like different, because I think it also lets them, like, I don't know, Carmen Farala would have slayed regardless.
Anything.
But would we have got such an impactful performance to
Supermodel of the World,
championed by RuPaul,
sure,
as we would have to that? Yeah.
Carmen in that wet dress, just
Oh, doing the Manila.
Then she just turns in and devolves into me, going,
Please put it away.
There's one song from Thailand 3 that I listen to all the time. It's called Burning for You. I can't remember if I played it for you before, but it's so good.
I don't know.
It's really, I'll show you after, but so we don't get copyright flagged. But the funniest part is that it was on the Clown is Sexy and I Know It runway. So they're literally dressed like clowns doing this song that is all about sex and sexuality, where this girl is talking about how she likes to take guys' money and lead them on so that they'll fall in love with her, but she doesn't really care about them.
God.
And they're like, body gyrating and burning for you, but they're fucking clowns.
Okay. And also to the point of freaking international songs, because I was talking about how freaking Holland, it was RuPaul America Central, the one song. Make a mind, the bop to end all bops.
So
that song
good.
is so good.
It's so lit for no reason.
So it's like, give me more shit like that.
I agree. I felt like this lip sync was very Raja Carmen coded. The two of them just having sex on stage.
It felt like it was the telephone part 2 to their duo
Totally.
in the previous challenge.
Yeah.
It was very sad to see, like, after kind of falling in love with them as a duo in the previous episode, and they're like kind of like cute synergy, having them in the bottom together was very, very bummer.
This could have been the double save of the season, I think.
I would love to believe that as well.
In my fantasy, this was the double save. Juriji's out and she sings this beautiful song about remembering her as she leaves, and I teared up.
Remember, and then someone heard that and went, wow, and then they wrote Remember Me
Then they wrote
Coco. And then they wrote the entirety of Coco in one
They saw
sitting.
Juriji.
They saw Juriji's elimination, tears in their eyes, they went, wow, and then they went to their typewriter and they wrote Coco.
Exactly.
In one sitting.
We moved to episode 9, The Golden Boys Makeover, and I saw this title and I'm like, are they pissing or something today?
Not the Golden Boys, the Gooner Boys.
The Gooner Boys.
Ew, I've made 2 Gooner jokes.
You've made
in
so
one
many
episode.
goon jokes
I hate
today.
that.
Sharon is feeling a lot of pressure about being the front runner because she's performed well every week. And she's feeling like, I might end up flubbing. And this was so funny because I'm like, bitch, you're not going to flub. Stop it.
You'll be fine.
You're fine. You are too
Right?
much of a professional.
If I was a contestant, I'd be like, eye roll. Like, if she was vocalizing that in the workroom, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like, I pray you do bad.
I want
bitch.
you to. I actively hope you do, but I know you're not going to.
You're
so
like,
I'm gonna learn
I'd
the
love
lip
to
sync.
see it.
Right? They have to do 5-minute quick drag. I hate quick drag.
I hate
Quick drag.
drag.
My favorite though was literally Estrella as Suprema's counting down. Estrella's like, shut up, mom, shut up. And I'm like, this diva, she
It was
loves
giving
her.
daughter trying to get ready for school.
Totally.
And her mom was like, the bus is here.
It's like, shut up, mom, I don't care.
Or like, we have to go. Come on.
So that he, then they have to put their hands in some boxes and figure out what's inside.
Of course. Activities that require getting in quick drag.
Can I say something filthy? I want to share a filthy story. Both of these pit crew members should and could piss on me. They were so hot. Both of them.
Espana's pit crew, I know, it's literally like the men from like the ads before porn.
Yes. The like old timey like black and white photos where it was the most gorgeous guys on like a Coke bottle can or something, you know?
Oh, they're giving, what's his name? Tama Finland.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
giving like if you Who Framed Roger Rabbited a Tama Finland painting and you just had that man.
They found the hottest men in Spain and they cast them. Like someone went around to wherever the WeHo is of Spain and just like snatched up the hot buff men and said,
no,
we're paying
They literally
you.
took everyone hot and they got him in like a police lineup.
Totally.
And then they had like the person with like the pickiest taste police lineup, like tell us who you would sleep with of this group. And they'd be like, that one.
Yes. I don't like, I there's beauty all over the world. I think sometimes,
but most of it is in the
Espana pit crew. Yeah,
No,
there are beautiful men across the pit crews of every franchise, but sometimes there's like just a big buff guy who's very average looking. Like they're not attractive, but they're just very average every day. But they're just buff. In Espana, they're sexy.
Can I say okay? That's what I love about Espana is like
that they have sexy men.
Again, this is the California experience because I'm sorry to all y'all states that y'all don't have this experience, but this is giving me like the best go-go boys at the club.
Totally.
And it's like, that's the thing, is it's not like, oh, this man is so chiseled and Grecian and buff, which is very much the American standard. It's like, no, this is like the gay man's dream. Like, this man is hairy. This man is a little meaty.
He's got a little bit of a belly on top of having all these muscles. And he's got tattoos.
Yeah, a tattoo, a piercing, a beard, like a little like scruffy hair. Like
the perfect like nose, eye shape, mouth shape, jawline.
Because sometimes the LA like archetype can affect the US a little too much. I think they've done a much better job diversifying, but I feel like American beauty standards can weigh too much, even in other pit crews, especially European pit crews, I will say. Like more like less like more like, you know, France, Sweden, etc. I mean, even France is pretty good. I don't want to throw them dust, but the more white European countries, there is definitely a certain vibe, but like
totally,
Espana gives me like the man you are thirsting at in the club, or like
and it's all
in
of
porn.
They're every
like,
one of that pit crew.
Yeah, or like on Twitter. Like I don't know.
Yes, I went to go open up my phone so I could show you a photo of Sebastian again. And why is it that Jean was the first one on my feed and this was her post? This split half and half. I was gonna pull up Sebastian again and be like, look at this beautiful man again. This beautiful, freaking gorgeous fit, but like also a little bit beefier dude who's just like,
yes,
it's just this gorgeous body standard who I'm like, God damn. And that's this pit crew. They're so hot in España.
Yes.
They have all these crazy things in these boxes. Pickled eggs. There's Jello, which Supreme is egging on Marina the whole time. Like, oop, it's gross. Oh no, it's so disgusting.
Freaking her
out.
mind gaming her.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, that's so fun because I love how into it doesn't matter what the minigame is.
Mm-hmm.
Supreme is more into it than anyone else
Totally.
in the room, and I love that.
She's literally the dad that's like trying to show their kid how to drive and is just having a good time with it.
Yeah.
And is just like so happy to teach them the thing.
She has this great inherent like game show host energy
Very
about
that.
her as well, which I don't know if she is because I know Fred is from Holland, which you could kind of see at moments where
Totally.
there is that supremacist. No, Supreme is such a great presenter and like MC, but she definitely like in these like mini challenges she just gives such fun like game show hosts, like equal part like Drew Carey and The Price is Right, like equal parts like on the contestant side but equal parts on the audience's side. Totally. Like here to just get the best reaction or best like moment. And I love it. She's great.
Yeah, she's probably my favorite so far, but we'll see as we get to some of the others.
As we get into the mama pow of it all.
Exactly. Benedita finds a little dildo in her box and she has to keep it. And her like rocking that dildo in her talking head.
Like it's her
like,
baby.
Kissing it. I'm like, this bitch is so crazy. I live. This was really her week. The challenge is to make over older gay men who are pretty foundational in Spain.
Yes.
And I'm sure that there's more story that they just didn't share with us about these people, but kind of the cut and dry from what I can understand is that they own a foundation to help older gay men get stability as they get older.
Yeah.
And I love that because there's really not a lot of resources that are targeted specifically to help queer people.
Yeah.
And I think also what was lovely about this was just having older gays in the workroom to share queer history to younger generations.
Oh, totally.
Have forgotten a lot of that. Like, I think, not to be disparaging towards younger millennials or Gen Z, but I think the kind of problem is that a lot of younger millennials, Gen Z, alphas in particular, have only ever known a world that has been safe for queer people. Mm-hmm. They grew up in a world where marriage equality was becoming regular and people were coming out in high school because of YouTube videos and they were watching kids on YouTube being like, I'm gay, and their parents accepting them.
Yeah.
Where like older millennials, Xers and above have known this chaotic, awful, unforgiving world. And because so many of our queer elders were taken out by the AIDS crisis here in the States, we don't have a lot of our queer history being shared with us as younger people. And so a lot of that just gets lost and muddled. And I think it's so important to remember where we came from and how volatile the world was before so that we don't get complacent.
Yes.
Because I think that's how we start to lose rights, is we're like, we're fine. And then suddenly something's up for a chopping block.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
I think that this was really special to have them there and just to share some of those stories about what it was like before. And we even had husbands.
Oh my gosh, I know the couple.
Yeah.
And their cute little rivalry. I love it.
And they were so perfect for the people they got.
Oh, it's so fun because it's like, even as a couple, they were so different.
Mm-hmm.
And they were so perfect for their respective partners. But like, you could see like how they worked as a couple, but like everyone got paired with really brought out their best qualities.
Yeah.
It was giving me very like, I mean, like that one of the best makeovers of all time, the season 12 makeover.
Oh,
But in terms of that quality of like, it really felt like everyone really got paired with someone who was everyone had everyone's best interest in mind. And it was like, there was emotional connection. There was like just vibe, like wavelength connection of like, oh, you want this, or like, I get that this is a fit for you, or like, I think I can bring this out of you. Like there was just, and I think there was definitely like a strength in it being queer people.
Yeah.
I think the best runways are always when it's queers. Cause like I think my favorite makeover challenge of all of them is still the Canada queer prom.
Oh yeah, that one was beautiful
because it makes me emo every time I think about it. But
the rainbow Railroad.
Railroad.
That one was
also
emotional.
from Canada.
Yeah.
But I think whenever they keep it in the family and it's queer makeovers, there is a different element than like when you're making over like a straight woman, even if it's a family member. Like something about it being like queer people, like there's always a certain energy.
There's a softer connection.
There's the connection. There's the camaraderie.
Right.
There's like in my opinion, the familial connection comes more easily than even sometimes the actual like blood family.
Yeah.
Because of the like that like the shared experience of it, I think is more present in the drag itself. And that's what I love about queer makeovers.
Me as well. I want to say two things before we look at the looks, because I think we should chat about them really quickly. We had a birthday in the workroom, and there have been plenty of birthdays. Kim Chi had her birthday,
and like,
but we never saw it.
And also, yeah, we always hear about it like, oh, it was this person's birthday and we did this. It was that person's birthday and we did that. But we don't ever see it.
We've never seen a birthday cake and a happy birthday from the host and the fruit fly. We never, ever see that. Rue and Michelle could never. They're way too disconnected from the cast.
It shows how locked in and connected they are, for sure.
And it was Estrella and one of the older guys, right? I'm pretty sure it was two of them.
2 for 1.
Yeah, 2 for
Which,
birthday.
like, also how cute. Because
adorable.
It could have easily just been Estrella. And it would have been like, oh yeah, also was that guy's day. And we, like, did something off camera to celebrate them too. But, like, the fact that it just felt so, like...
special.
And I mean, obviously, this is me being like, I love Drag Race Espana, and this is a flawless season, can do no wrong. I'd like to believe that that's one of those moments where like it would have happened off camera or on camera,
right?
But like it, which is why I mean of like them including the makeover as well is like, I just think there's such a wholesome energy to that.
Yeah, I love this group a lot. The second thing I wanted to say is Benedita shaves her guy down and gives him the same type of beard situation. And her makeover says, this is what you're going to look like in a few years. And Benedita goes, a few?
Drag. So funny, though. So funny.
This old dude was so perfect for Benedita, who's low-key kind of shady, but is so quiet about it. I'm like, this bitch.
Well, because that's also Benedita. Like, Benedita is kind of the quietest of the room.
Yeah.
But, like, also has some of the funniest, like... things to say and is like very shady and like intelligent and hilarious in her own right.
Right. I lived. So let's talk about these looks because the makeover challenge is a really good opportunity to brand yourself and to show who you are. And I don't know if everybody did that.
Right. Well, especially because so late into the season as makeovers are, we know what kind of package you've given up to this point. We know what your drag is. We know what you've worn so far. So I agree for some of them. Like for Benedita, for instance, just to jump ahead.
Yeah.
I can look at this look without the makeover and this absolutely fits in with her package. It looks like a jump off of last week to me.
It literally looks like her artistic burlesque aesthetic. And she even has a reveal.
But then like, meanwhile... you take Marina's runway package and you put her in this blue bob and coat with the lollipop and line it up next to him. Because that's also, in my opinion, how runways for makeovers should be judged. Is like, if your look or what your makeovers look is judging... or what was that sentence? Hello?
What was that? It got away.
Your look... or what your makeover is wearing should be able to be judged alone along with the rest of your package as a standalone look.
You should be able to put it on somebody else and us think that looks like this person.
You could send her walking alone down the runway in that and include it in a compilation of your runway looks.
Right. And it looks like it came from it. Let's start from the top. I know you kind of already talked about two of them, and so we'll kind of breeze through them. I didn't really understand the Barbarella thing that Estrella was doing. And are these guns? Isn't that the same one that Jamiji had a couple weeks ago?
This is giving the dark-sided flavor of Estrella, which is like, it's the same as like her ball package. And like, there's those weeks that Estrella misses.
Yeah.
And it's this weird, like, either sci-fi or like, it's almost like Bad Romance. Like, it's a little gaga. It's a little like, I don't
C
know.
movie on the
But it's
Sci-Fi
like,
Channel.
it doesn't feel like Estrella to me. It feels like Estrella trying to be something.
And the cherry red shoes with this bubblegum pink bodysuit.
That's the thing, is even if like it was a fit for her aesthetic, like, okay, well, it's super her, so I get it. It's ugly. It's badly styled. The styling is poor.
What was she thinking? Can I say about Marina and Antonio?
Say something. Say something. I'm giving up on you.
I am giving up. I am so tired and exhausted by Snow Bunny Coke-Whores. I'm so tired of it. It is every season now we get a Snow Bunny Coke-Whore prostitute.
And also like the dresses under it. Have you ever seen that skit where it's Liza Minnelli trying to turn off a lamp, the SNL skit, and it's, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I only think about
God,
cream of wheat.
It's Kristen Wiig,
okay,
from SNL, as Liza Minnelli, and the skit is Liza Minnelli trying to turn off a lamp.
Oh my God.
And it's her like jazzing around her apartment trying to turn the lamp off, but she's literally in like this without the coat. She's in like Merlot colored tights, a black like skinky dress like this, and her Liza Minnelli bob. Like, this is giving me like Liza Minnelli in Wonderland.
I see it.
This is giving me Liza Minnelli goes to Mad Hatter's Tea Party, R.I.P. at California Adventure.
Mad team. Yeah, I just hate this aesthetic. And what does this have to do with Marina at all?
It's giving
and the blacked out teeth. You're going to put your old dude in blacked out teeth and then send him out on the runway looking like a travesty?
Looking like a yesified mobster. You know those memes when they would put like Trump in drag and stuff and he'd be in like the lavender wig? Like, it's giving like Rudy Giuliani and yesified. It's giving me like
yesified Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, and I hate that. And I hate that so much for this man. For Antonia.
I hate that you've said that because I see it.
Because literally whenever like they would do the AI like or like the Photoshop drag queen
looked
makeovers,
like that.
they're always in this colored wig.
The Snow Bunny
they're always
look
in that
too.
stupid ass lavender wig, and I hate it.
With the tights and the white shoes.
Oh God.
The mix of disco
what
and
is that
Aspen.
called in Drag U? What is that called? The machine where they would show
I never
them
watched
their.
Drag U.
You've never seen Drag U?
The only thing I've seen is when Raven gets her ring stolen by Jujubee.
That's actually crazy.
Raven, that's my ring.
I get it because I don't even know where to watch full episodes.
I don't
now.
either.
I don't know where you can access it, but I used to watch the full episodes on Logo. Because I started watching the show around season 5, and they still had the later seasons. But they would have like, they had this like robot like that. It almost looked like a slot machine, but it would generate like a drag look for them. Where it would like the screen would like generate it. It was also a little like Clueless when she had her closet like with the screen that showed the looks. But it showed them. This was pre-makeover. Got it. This was still while they were being guided through the emotional part of it, but it showed like kind of like a computer generated like, this is what you're gonna look like in drag. But it was very that, where it was like you like as you are with like a crazy colored wig, a crazy colored outfit, some like hooker makeup,
and some blacked out teeth and a candy bar.
Morgan McMichael's hooker makeover.
Makeovers. I loved Sharon and Shireen. They were so cute, so old Hollywood. I loved how they were holding hands the whole time.
2 peas in a pod. I love the holding hands, but the different wigs was the perfect offset to the matching dresses.
Yeah.
And it was very sisters, or it was very.
I was just thinking that
it was like
sisters.
they're gonna come out and they're gonna sing a song together, and then like.
No one will come.
Or like they have like a traveling show together.
Totally.
Like, I mean, obviously it was very much guided by Sharon's character because she's such like showbiz woman,
Mm-hmm.
but it's giving like showbiz woman and her partner, who's like her sister or her aunt or something.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
Venetita and Vinagrita were my favorite look. This is what my little pony thought she was doing with those comic book looks.
No, this is like actually like the like juiciest nut.
Yeah.
The mix of the uncolored and the colored. I guess my only critique is I wish they had swapped and that she was black and white and her partner was in color.
I understand her story of saying like her partner is older and so comes from the generation of black and white, and she's from the generation of everything being in color,
which
so I
is so
appreciated
cunty.
that.
But I love it so much.
The little berets.
It's so inspired. It's very Venedita because she's an artsy girl,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. But like, yeah, it's like paired silhouettes, and it's one of those things where it's like, for makeovers, sometimes they wear the not super tailored, like kind of loose fitting, but it feels like a cop out.
Yeah.
But this is like, it feels very just like stylish, and like the way she did her partner's makeup to accommodate like the Venedita style of it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I also appreciate, I guess, the makeover further solidifies. I appreciate how Venedita has done this weird mix of like retro glam with bearded queen.
Yeah.
Because she takes the bearded queen styling and something about that like merges with like the vintage beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And
in this
like
perfect way.
they come together in like a really cool way. Yeah, she takes the beard and like the graphicness of that and like the graphicness of her brow and the blush, and like everything is so like severe retro beauty.
Yeah.
That the beard just kind of blends into it as another one of those harsh lines, and like the
So
mug she
good.
creates. It's so fierce. And like, yeah, I love her like with her like the accent stockings, the bright shoe, the bright
I have to give her props too, because she made her makeovers dress there. She sewed that there. She brought the fabric and just did it because she didn't know what she was going to need. She didn't want to make it too big or too small and then have to fix it. So she just made it exactly how it needed to look.
And like, I don't want to gas myself up, but like, I feel like that is the way to do it, is like bring your look, bring fabric
Yes.
for the second look,
Mhm.
and be like, okay, so I want to make this for you. Just tell me, like, show them the sketch, be like,
Yeah.
is this good? Because then you also have the leeway of like, do you want to show a little more leg, a little
Mhm.
less leg? Do you want this to be covered? Do you want this to be
Yeah.
showing? Like,
That's a tea, because what if you have two complementary gowns, but then you get there and your makeover's a little sex pot and you want to show
Exactly.
off their body? You can't alter a dress and cut out stuff if the dress is already
Yeah.
constructed.
And
So
it's
bring
like,
fabric.
yeah, and you don't know the size and body and etc.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want to go the route of like cover up.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, yeah, have your like perfect fitted look for yourself ready in the chamber,
Mm-hmm.
and then have all of the fabric and trimmings to create the complementary look,
Mm-hmm.
but then like actually like consult with that person. Was it Naomi who was talking about this?
She was talking about
She
that
was
recently.
like, we used to have to actually make it.
Yeah, and now they just bring in stuff.
And I was like, that's so true, because
It's
like
deep.
I was thinking about like season 3, season 4, where even if it was a shit look like Carmen's or like something like that, like
They made
they
it.
still made it.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually is so true, is like that's part of the makeover experience, is like not only are they putting them in drag, but they're actually having to make an outfit for
Mhm.
them both.
Yeah.
And I do kind of miss that. I feel like it's also not to humiliate the partner maybe, but like, yeah, I think that that's a really smart way to approach it. If you're a queen
Yeah.
who can design, have everything ready and then just whip it up there.
And this is a hard fabric to work with because it's so graphic. If you mess up one line, the whole dress is ruined.
Hard fabric, and even if this coat is not lined, it's not like a coat is the easiest thing to whip
No.
together. With that fur collar, cunty.
Yeah. She does have a
Super
lot of
cunty.
really smart, and I say cheats with kindness in my heart. It's like it's an interesting drag cheat because she's got the beret, so you can kind of hide the wig line from this
Yes.
older man who might
Yes.
not be able to use glue on his head because of skin. Would be a little more sensitive towards that in older age. You've got the glasses, so if the makeup's not precise, because skin is going to not be as firm to paint on, you can kind of cover up some mistakes. Gloves, so that they don't have to shave their arms or worry about any dysphoria with that. The
Yeah.
leggings. And this diva was in heels.
Yes.
But Venedita overall, especially with the silhouette being very long, covering up most everything, it's a really smart drag cheat that things that might not be Venedita's specific aesthetic or might maybe make the makeover uncomfortable are designed to be able to be comforting no matter who's wearing it. And I love that
Yes.
this dude was willing to, one, go out with the heels, but then two, put on those little titty tassels and do the
Oh my
chest
God.
reveal.
Yes.
And be like, look at my boobs. I don't care. I'm
Right?
here to do
The
it.
little Venedita flavor of it.
And so the way that she went all out with this fabric, making the garment, and that her dude was just all in to go sex pot, I'm like, yes.
It all
You
just
got
came
it.
together so perfect.
Yeah. Venedita was it. And in Untucked, they... Oh, wait. We didn't even talk about her. Alexis Mateo is on the panel this week.
Mother.
I loved her so much. I want to say, Alexis, if you're listening, you look beautiful in lime. I love you in this updo
Yes,
and the feathers.
That gorgeous like green pageant dress. I
It's
love
so
it.
pretty with this like Kingdom Hearts lock down the front.
Please. Oh my
Oh,
God.
she looks so good. And the nude illusion is perfect to her skin. It is perfect. Alexis Mateo is perfect. I love that she's here, and I hope that she shows up again in Espana because she's everything. I love me Alexis Mateo so much. In Untucked, the girls are all talking about how there's potential for a bottom three
Yeah.
because last year there was. I want to say, I think the only reason why there was a bottom three in season 1 was because Killer was running her mouth. Do you remember? She was like, I'm just so glad that I'm going to be going to top 3, but I don't know. I think the two of you deserve to go to top 3. Maybe if I didn't have to be in the top, I could lip sync.
Killer
But
jinxed it.
it's just so great that I'm going to top 3, but the two of you really deserve it more than me. So I feel like producers were like, okay, bet. Then you can lip sync too,
They're like,
bitch.
Quanta to vas.
Right. Literally. I feel like that's the only reason there was a bottom 3 last year. Because this year Sharon is called safe. There's only a bottom 2.
Yeah.
And they have to lip sync to El Anillo by J-Lo. Jenny from the Block.
I'm still.
I feel like Jenny in front of Alexis Mateo was either divine intervention or planned. They were like, we got to do J-Lo in front of her.
Oh my gosh.
We
I
must.
know. I was thinking about that.
Love to make love to you. Carson being like, me? Do you remember that? That reveal into that slutty little dance number.
God.
Wait, Rue. I have another lipstick.
So good.
And not Sharon. Estrella pulls out this little dragon puppet, and it pans to the judges panel, and I'm sure that Alexis was probably just clearing her throat and didn't think it was going to be a thing. But it pans to her, and she's like, probably just naturally, but it looked so shady because it was right after they showed the dragon.
God.
And I was just like, this woman is not featuring this little dragon puppet at all. And they showed every shot of Alexis like clearing her throat or sniffling or something.
Featuring it.
Right? They were like, used any shot to show that Alexis was not liking it at all. Marina is called safe, and it's implied that Estrella is out.
Yeah.
And I was like, Spanish Trimala, they're always out.
You were gagged.
I was gagged.
Were you sad?
I was feeling a certain kind of way. I was like, damn, the farty bitch beat out Estrella, the girl I just apologized to. Right? I'm going to have to rescind my apology this week. And then they did the candy and saved her. Estrella. Lucretia. And they saved her, and I was gagged. I was like, first double save. It could have easily been last week, in my opinion.
I know. Well, and also it's so crazy for how strong this season has been that we haven't had one. Because going all the way back to like Onyx getting eliminated,
right?
I feel like that was like from then on we've had multiple like Onyx eliminated, Sethless getting eliminated, like Jarigi getting eliminated. Like you were saying, yeah, when we were talking about that episode, like there were a lot of opportunities this season. But I mean, hey, we love it for Estrella.
Yeah. We'll chat about the finale, and we can pretty much get through this quick because not a ton happens.
I mean, the finale episodes are pretty lackluster except for the finale performance.
They're ceremonial and celebratory.
It's super ceremonial, a ton of like filler and like good vibes, ooh. It's like a graduation.
Yeah.
It's literally like a graduation, filling time until you get to the actual ceremony.
Totally. I want to say I love Supreme so much interacting with the girls during the lunch portion. You can tell she's invested in their success.
The finales in Espana are better than the US finales or other seasons. Like you can definitely tell like Supreme is invested from the beginning of the season, but all the way through you can tell like it does feel like a culmination of her investment in them throughout the season.
I agree. The girls have to perform in a song by Supreme. And I live, laugh, loved that it was them the whole way.
Okay. Freaking original song, original melody, not like, oh, you're going to add a verse to a RuPaul song. Like this was this like kind of like, this was this like intense, cunty, like club, like
so good,
like song of the night. And I mean, like, I can hold space for everyone else, but like,
this was it.
Sharon.
Oh my God. Sharon's high notes.
This was it, but like Sharon.
She sounded like a woman from like 1932 lounge singing.
Well, because like it was a pretty solid melody, but like she just like carried it.
And honestly, the vocal work that they did to Venedita and to Estrella sounded really good. Because I already knew Marina could sing. But
I really appreciate like they definitely didn't like leave them out to dry.
Someone took the auto tune and put it to a 10, and I said thank you.
Because the US does that almost most criminally in the finale.
Or in the middle during the Rusical. God bless the gays.
Yeah, the Rusical, but I really feel like for the
children.
LGBT. No, but I feel like the finale, they'll randomly leave these women like
high and dry,
no mixing, no nothing.
Yeah.
And so
Zero.
I appreciate, because in my opinion, the finale is a victory lap anyways. If you are trying to make a elimination, like sure, but you don't need to make them look bad. You can make everyone look their best and someone can still be eliminated. So I
it should be celebratory.
Because also you're trying to get the songs like streams. You're trying to get people, well, not in the international ones as much, but in the US, you're trying to get this streamed, and it's crazy to me that they're not mixing these vocals
at all
on a track that you're putting on iTunes and like trying to like get to like chart or like pedal. But they like really like mastered this song. Like the like mix on this was really good in my opinion.
And I loved having Carmen be there from her wet look from the song, the finale one. And she was like covered in glitter, so she looked wet.
Was this episode where she does her like sign off? Where she does her like mirror message?
She came and put her crown on the little pillow and then writes on the mirror.
I'm obsessed with that moment. By the way, I think that is the cutest thing, to have the previous winner come back, leave their crown, and write a mirror message as a send-off to their reign.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cute, and actually made me like nostalgic for Carmen Farala and season 1 and her reign. But like I thought that was so cool for her to just do a little write-off of like, yep, my reign's come to an end, but like my message to y'all. And also speaks to Espana of like the only bitch that Carmen Farala could pass her crown off to.
That it was Sharon.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like real recognizes real, mama.
Real is how you feel. Do you want to talk about the finale looks really quick?
Oh yeah, the runway. Yeah, for sure.
Venedita in this cobalt gave me chills.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about the finalists first. I could not. It was so luxe, and it legitimately made me feel like I was gonna cry. It was so
And
gorgeous.
like the texture, because that's the thing too, is like it's a darker color,
It's hard to pull off
hard to pull off,
with
hard to
dark
translate
hair.
on stage, but the amount of texture that went into it, it really translated so gorgeously. And like,
And her just feeling all that womana of like leaning back slightly and doing the one shoulder showing.
yes, I
And
know
just,
the very
oh,
fashion poses with
yeah.
it, but it was just so like architectural and like super glam, and like that super textured hair too, the way it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of rolled and very like, it was very retro to me. Like, I don't know what era it's in evoking, because to me it's somewhere between like 30s and 50s.
It's a little
Like,
bit of a hodgepodge blend.
yeah, because it's a little like pinup, it's a little victory roll, it's like a little, it's like all of these like
Coco
sculpture,
Cabana, lounge
yeah,
singer.
totally, all these like sculptural moments coming together, and then with like, yeah, the classic like dark beauty Venedita mug. Like, oh god, I love her vibe.
Do you remember when Michelle asked Violet if she was running out of clothes? I wonder that about Marina.
Was it giving there's no more geesh to gander?
It was giving, hey, PAs, can you please run down to the Primark? I don't know if they have Primark in Espana. I just assumed that was like a European thing. Maybe they do. Can you run down to like the thrift store and just pick up a black dress? I'm going to make a feather headdress here, and I have some gloves that I could borrow. Can you just go get me a plain black dress? I don't care what it looks like. Bother someone else with your question.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
And then the second part with the orange hair is giving Aquaria.
It totally
It's
is.
giving an Aquaria like entrance look.
Yeah. I didn't live. I I like the idea of what Estrella was doing, but I also didn't feel like it was a wrap up to her looks.
Okay,
I was very confused.
Estrella, I think I said this. There's just certain looks that are a miss, and they're in this weird like left of center. Like, it's a lot of when she's doing like space, or like, I called it like the bad romancy like
Mm,
Gaga vibe, where it's like, it's very, to me it's very like generic, like you're in the club about to do a mix of like any pop or rap song. Like, I don't know. But then this is like, not, it's not giving that, but it's giving that type of like genericness. And I hate saying that, because Estrella is
yeah,
such like
a one of a kind.
she's such a one of a kind, such a star, but it is giving very generic queen.
Do you remember in the ball where you said all of her looks looked like costumes for an episode of something, of a sitcom?
Oh
This
god.
looks like the episode is she is on her way to the Labyrinth of Jareth, and that's her costume for the themed episode.
I hate it. She does dress like the comic relief of an episode
But
of a
then
sitcom though.
to continue what I said about Juriji, Juriji looks like the little Swedish girl who shows up at the Labyrinth of Jareth and asks her where the bathroom is one last time. It's the season finale, and she's like, I cannot believe that I've ran into you so many times. I should just get your phone number at this point.
Please. Okay,
I
but
gotta know. Do you know where the bathroom is? And
I
the audience roars in laughter.
I love it so much though. It's such a cunty look.
It really is. But yeah, I was like, this looks like a costume in a TV show. Like, it looks like TV show costuming.
It's tea. No, it is.
Sharon is not in a fashion moment, but at all whatsoever. But tell me why the whole time she was walking, I'm like, I love that.
I
I love
mean,
this little night look.
it makes sense for Sharon, in the sense of like, obviously Sharon is not fashion. Sharon is not like drag forward,
Mm-hmm.
but she's very classic drag, and this is very like,
Classic drag.
this is expensive, like,
The
and not
paillettes that everybody
the
has.
paillettes, and like it's a moment, but it's not a club look.
No.
It's also not a pageant look. That's what's interesting about it. It is just like, it's just like drag mother. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is like the most expensive like classic drag look.
Yeah. Did you have any standouts from the Bring Back My Girls? Mine was Onyx.
Oh, her like
Loved
Fifth
it.
Element,
Oh, it was so
Star Wars, like
yeah,
she really is giving like the unnamed character from a sci-fi movie.
totally.
And I do love that. For me, my favorite is
I
Jiriji's.
love Jiriji's.
I do think Seth Loss's is pretty cool.
Something about it is like a little bit too one note. I think there needs to be something to
Yeah,
break up all that fabric.
valid.
I cannot believe that Disney didn't send a cease and desist copyright strike
To Ariel
to
Rec.
Ariel Rec with her dingle hopper.
Crazy.
I mean, I guess maybe something happened because, Sugar and Spice were able to do the Belle and the Ariel look and they were
Yeah.
fine. So
But yeah, that was crazy.
it absolutely was. Now, before we talk about this finale lip sync, I think what is very important to talk about right now is Carmen Farala's step down look.
Oh,
Easily one of the prettiest things
yes.
I've ever seen. She looks like a J Idol that's graduating. Like, does this
Yes.
not look like a J Idol graduation dress?
It looks like champagne bubbling over mixed with
Mm.
like a slightly toasted marshmallow,
Oh, yeah.
mixed with like a cloud at sunset with diamonds on it. But it's also just like
Mm.
Carmen has never once looked bad on
Never.
Drag Race. And it's giving opulence, it's giving rich, it's giving like, yeah, I'm someone you should like look at and like respect. But also like I'm just a beautiful woman.
If she spoke English, her and Sharon would be top 2 of all winners season 3. Easy.
Carmen's one of those queens where like she's so interesting to me because her regal is not like queen. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Her regal is just like gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
Like I hate to invoke her name,
Mm.
but it's giving the best of what the former Tyra used to give,
Oh, uh-huh.
where it's like her very best is just like freaking beautiful, glamorous womana.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like she's not giving like Violet Chachki with a prosthetic crown like
Mm-hmm.
in her scalp and like that gorgeous gown that she gave for her 8 send off, but it's just like no, she's just the most beautiful woman in the
The
room
most.
and like expensive. And like I love that. That's just like so powerful because not everyone can do that.
No, it's very hard to do that.
Yeah.
Marina's cut from the final 3, and we get a top 3 lip sync from Sharon, Venedita, and Estrella.
Yes.
And the song they have to do, what is hold on, I'm gonna try to say this right. Ni tu ni nadie, I think. I gotta say for Estrella, if she had done that number where she's pulling out all that crap from the pockets,
Yeah.
she would have easily won Miss Hamburger Mary's Ontario 2022. Easy.
Yeah.
Like that would have killed in a nightclub.
Yeah.
But for a TV show, it's just I don't think it was enough.
For a TV show, but also against Venedita and Sharon.
Who were
I mean,
in the
like,
fantasy.
Can I say, like, I feel like she was losing regardless. I would feel that if I was up against Sharon and Venedita, like
I would
I
have just
just
walked
feel like
off.
you're up against such like titans and such like I don't want to say veterans because that feels so aging, but like they're clearly like they're so like figured out.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like as Estrella is not someone who is as figured out yet.
Right.
I would just be intimidated on that regard.
Me as well. And I mean, her lip sync was much less focused than the others.
Yes.
I thought from the lip sync, I'm like, Venedita could win this.
She could. I mean, that's what I say is as much. And I feel like credit to Venedita because
Mhm.
obviously like Sharon stomped all season.
Yeah.
But Venedita really gave her a run for her money. Even if she wasn't like winning,
She could have a couple
still
times.
did so strong that she still challenged Sharon and didn't make it feel like a clean sweep.
Yeah.
She still showed that like other girlies were really bringing it all season.
Venedita could have won Snatch Game, and I don't remember if she won the acting challenge. I think Sharon won that one.
Yeah.
I think Venedita could have won that one too.
It wasn't like the cast in general just like rolled over and took it with
Right.
Sharon, you know?
Mhm.
They still like gave their all.
Totally. This was a really good finale with Sharon winning, and it totally made sense in my fantasy. And I just gotta say, this was like one of my favorite seasons.
Totally. Well, it's so interesting. We didn't talk about production once this season.
No, because I hardly felt it.
And like the prevalence of how much we talk about production in US seasons versus, I mean, international seasons in general, but I feel like when we talk about production, even in international seasons, we're mostly talking about how it mimics or evokes the US experience.
Hmm.
But this one is just such in a league of its own. It's not trying to be that girl.
Right.
But also, it doesn't even need to be that girl. I think I kind of alluded to it earlier, but it's like we didn't ever need a moment for production because there was just so much organically happening that was amazing and entertaining and fabulous
Yeah.
that you never really needed any meddling. Or if there was, it was so seamless that we didn't even notice.
Even like the top 6 challenge. Normally that's the point where they try and pair people up that have stories.
Yeah.
And they didn't even do that.
Yeah.
And even if they did, I mean, I didn't see how Sethless and Marina had any type of conflict. That would have been Jiriji and Marina's moment,
No.
and they didn't have that.
Yeah.
But like you said, everything happened just so seamlessly and organically that we didn't notice if production was doing anything. And
Yeah.
I think that's what makes this season beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so good. I have to ask the question before we finish here. Controversial opinions about this season, if any.
The only one really is that Jiriji shouldn't have been in the bottom for the roast.
I agree.
I think that the top 3 should have been Sharon, her, and Marina, and it should have been Estrella and Venedita. And sadly, Venedita would have sent Estrella home.
Absolutely.
That's my only slightly left of center opinion for the whole season. But otherwise,
Yeah.
I feel like everything played out pretty true and pretty sensible. But that's just the one time where I was like, damn.
Or it could have been a double save.
Or a double save.
And
sooner.
then maybe the following week, Estrella sends Marina home in the makeover.
Ooh, bitch. Ooh.
I could see that. That would be my spicy.
That's a little spicy. Yeah.
I know that there's some girlies who come back for Espana All-Stars, but who would you want to see in a versus the world or global from this group? Because I think for me, it would be Jiriji. I know she can speak
Jiriji
English.
is that girl. You said Sharon for an all winners.
Yeah.
And I definitely see Sharon for an all winners. And then my only other person is definitely Venedita.
Venedita. I think she might be able to speak some English.
I mean, I would love to see. I think RuPaul would love Venedita, beard and all.
Totally. I would love to see that. Venedita does not do Espana All-Stars, right?
No, she does not. We have not seen her yet.
Okay, yet.
I'm saying yet because I'm manifesting.
Okay. But yeah, that's who I would want to see. I would want to see Jiriji for sure. But that's because I know they speak English. But I feel like Diamante also does.
Diamante would be so fun. I would love to see her growth. I would also love to see Marina's growth. I would
Yeah.
love to see what Marina's up to now.
And I can't remember if Marina can speak English or not.
I feel like she could.
Marina can speak, I think she mentioned she can speak a couple languages.
Get
She
her
mentioned Italian.
Get her on Drag Race Italia All-Stars. Get her on something.
Italia versus the world.
Whatever language she can speak, get
Get
her,
her there.
on there. And she'll let her twirl. Let her spin aggressively.
That spinning will live in my head forever.
In the sumo outfit.
In the
It's so
sumo.
crazy.
You've seen the video of that like little Barbie toy that spins into the fire, right?
Yes.
But replace
the
that little
sky dancer.
spinning
Yeah,
sky
they pull it
dancer with
into the
Marina.
fireplace. Literally. Literally. I love it.
So this has been such a fun season, and I've enjoyed literally every second of
I
it.
know. I'm so sad it's over.
Me as well. This might be a comfort season for me. I'm really entranced by it.
Definitely one of the seasons you can just put on and enjoy.
Right.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Next week we're starting All Star 7.
Wow.
I know,
so
trucking
crazy.
our way on through.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting season to talk about too.
With Viv being gone now.
I know, in light of his passing, it's gonna be sad for sure. And also, I mean, it's just kind of a different season, non-elimination,
Yeah.
and just like it's more of a victory lap season.
Totally.
So it'll be a different pace to talk about,
Mhm.
but it'll be interesting.
I've got a fun concept for us.
Oh.
So we'll get into that next week. But thank you all for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We will chat with you next week with All Star 7. Remember, you're doing a great job. You're doing the best you can. And that is all you can do. Goodbye.
Bye.